Hi, friends. Thanks for joining us. Do us a huge favor and smash that button. We can't thank you all enough. Going to Labor Day weekend. Pretty excited about that. Benny, where can they find us on social media?
Yeah, you can find us Ray Benny Sports. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Check us out also on Reddit and Discord. And don't forget to leave us a rating on your favorite podcast provider.
Bombers just signed a couple receivers, Kyran Moore, Cam Echols, CFL experience, big time for one. CFL, a little bit, not really. What are your thoughts on these signings?
Yeah, I mean, it's some good depth signings here. I mean, we know Kyran Moore has put up some good numbers in the CFL, playing with Saskatchewan and I believe with Edmonton as well. So they need it right now because we don't know enough about what's going on with Dembski and Stearns. They're not practicing, or Dembski was limited, I think. So it looks like we're going to need those guys for this weekend, or at least one of them. So, it's good. At least Dembski and Stearns have been out on practice, so it doesn't seem like they're very serious injuries that they're going to be put on the 6-game injured list or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick, I guess with Echols, Cam Echols, don't know enough about him. He's put up some decent numbers when he's played, but doesn't have enough experience. And I was looking, both have actually return capabilities too, punt return, kick return.
Yeah.
So yeah, they needed that, and I'm interested to see actually what happens even with Ontario Wilson since he got cut with the Jets.
Yeah, I wonder how long he'll exhaust all NFL opportunities. I guess as long as he can.
Yeah, because Aju, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Is already coming back to Saskatchewan.
Elgersma got a shot with the Giants.
Yeah, he had to work out with the Giants, so hopefully, I don't want to say that doesn't work out, but
Well, with the signing of these two, still, I don't think it's obviously a good sign in regards to the health of the current receiving unit. They definitely could use some depth, and some playmaker ability is good. Whatchamacallit, what was his name again? Kyran Moore. Sorry, he catches like 75% of his targets, 10 yards per reception. Bombers definitely need that. A good veteran. And like you mentioned, special teams with Echols, but it doesn't really address still the lack of size on the Bomber receiving core. There's still not that deep, big body threat that the Bombers had for years and years and years. You can look at Darvin Adams, Rashid Bailey. He was like what, 6'2", 6'3". Chris Matthews, Greg Carr, Darius Bowman. I can go on and on. Even Drew Latarski. You can put Drew Latarski in there. There's still not a big-bodied receiver. I thought that would be good if they brought one in. And there's still time, obviously. Labor Day is always considered halfway point. Is now we start the sprint to the end. But it's nice to see a big-body receiver.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely need those. I'm kind of surprised Kyran Moore hasn't been playing at all. I mean, unless there's something behind the scenes with the guy. Because I mean he's put up good numbers when he has played, so it's an interesting player there just to see what he can do. But like you say, I mean, it's definitely not good when hopefully it seems like Dalton Schoen's gonna be back this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So at least you get one guy back, but now you're losing Dembski possibly. So hopefully it ends up working out, but it'll be an interesting receiving core this weekend.
I think Moore is coming off missing a whole year from an ACL.
Oh, okay. I tried to see and I couldn't find where he was or what he was, but maybe I missed that.
What's the number one thing you're taking away from last week's win against Montreal? That was the first time since week 3 against BC that the Bombers have won the turnover battle. 3 takeaways, including 1 on downs, 0 turnovers from the Bombers, which is good, right? 0 turnovers? Pretty sure.
So, yeah.
If I'm wrong, darn, they still won the turnover battle. And that's a must this week against the Riders, who are currently second in the league in the turnover ratio at +6. Bombers are second last at -8. So, yeah, I hope they keep that momentum going with winning the turnover battle.
Yeah, that is a big one. For me, is the fact that Brady Oliveira finally went off this season. And I don't know if it had to do with the injuries to wide receiver that they used him more, but I mean, 16 carries, 137 yards, a touchdown, and then even 9 receptions for 73 yards. And that probably had a bit of a play in the receivers getting hurt. And we know what was it, the week before or whatever. No, the Calgary game, I think he had like 90 receiving yards as well in the first half, pretty much, and then they stopped in the second. So I don't know if it was, again, the receivers being out or if Hogan actually started to focus on, hey, Brady needs to be the focal point of this offense right now. But it worked against Montreal, who has a very stout defense for the most part.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them continue to carry it on. If you look back even at Calgary, Saskatchewan last week, Saskatchewan had trouble stopping Dietrich Mills and the Calgary Renegade. So that may be the focus point for the Bombers this week. But it's good to see Brady get going, and hopefully that's going to churn up and keep going for the second half of the season.
Especially Mills up the middle.
Yeah,
Oof.
Mills has been playing pretty good this year, or at least he's had big game against the Bombers, Saskatchewan kind of thing.
What is your number one concern going into the LDC Labor Day Classic?
But talking about injuries, not only just the wide receiver injuries with Dembski and Stearns, Cramdy so far has not been practicing as well. So that's another huge loss that could happen for the Bombers. This is a big game, and you're going into a stadium that's going to be loud. So you need as much veteran presence as possible. Be good if Dalton Schoen is going to be back. But yeah, those injuries on wide receiver and Cramdy are going to limit the Bombers a bit.
I'm concerned about the environment off the bat. I think the Roughriders are going to probably be pissed. They lost to Calgary again, the only team they've lost to. The Bombers have lost a little bit of that veteran leadership over the years, like Hardrick and Biggie and a little Jeff Coates. So I think of that combination, it might be tough going at the beginning. If the Bombers can weather that storm, I think it'll be a good opportunity for them to gain the momentum. But yeah, I'm just concerned about the beginning of the game.
Yeah, you'll have to lean on your veterans a bit, I guess, on both sides. Collaros, one guy, and then Willie Jefferson on the defensive side to bring those guys together. But
yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned Cramdy. What was the dude that played for him? Cam Allen?
Yeah.
He was pretty solid.
Yeah. He had. Solid. Yeah. So again, it's a depth that's going to come into play here for the Bombers, right?
What matchup are you keeping an eye on when the Bomber Rider LDC? I'm going to say, because I'm a big booster of this dude, Tony Jones versus AJ Ouellette. Now, Ouellette loves the pronunciation, loves to run up the middle. Third in rushing in the league with over 700. Tony Jones is second in the league in tackles, I think, with 68. Something has to give in that battle, so I'm really looking forward to that match. I'll be watching that one all day. And that has to be like whatever, I don't know what the word is, but that battle pretty much embodies what the whole game should be. It's going to be a physical matchup, a battle of wills. Who's going to win that battle in the hole? So yeah, Jones, Ouellette.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's going to be should be easier for Saskatchewan in Saskatchewan for this week, right? With the crowd noise and everything facing the Bombers. But I'm going to go Bomber O-line versus that Saskatchewan D-line front seven. It's going to be a battle. Like looking at sacks wise, Saskatchewan leads the league in sacks total. Yep. They got multiple guys: Shane Ray, Mika Johnson with 5, Malik Carney and Mike Rose with 4 each. So Montreal ended up having 2 against the Bombers, but we've seen the Bomber offensive line struggle in games before, and now you're on the road and facing that crowd noise on top of it. So we really need this Bomber O-line to step it up and give Collaros time, because especially if you have new receivers in there, who've only been here for a week, they need to get ready and know what's going on, and that's why I feel like Brady Oliveira is going to need to step up as well, his blocking abilities, and help that O-line out.
Is Vanterpool back?
Yeah, it looks like he was full practice. So
taping this Friday morning, haven't been confirmed yet of the game day matchup lineup, but hopefully Vanterpool will be back. That'd be a huge plus. Bomber blueprint. What we think's gonna go down on Labor Day? Man, we've seen a couple of those Labor Days live, and it's what's the first memory that comes to mind? One sentence of Labor Day Classic for you.
Wow. I mean, the atmosphere, it's just crazy in there. I don't even want to say it because it's the one that just
That's more than one sentence. That's more than one
Sorry.
2-liter football game.
Yes.
2-liter fan football game. Tackle. Bomber blueprint. What do you think is going to happen at Labor Day? Start with offense. Go ahead.
I think the Bombers, they need to focus on the run. Brady Oliveira needs to have a big game. Saskatchewan's going to be tough to pass against. So I think in order for the Bombers to be able to have a chance in this game, lean on Oliveira, whether it's through the pass or run. Um, you know, but I think they're going to have a hard time against Saskatchewan and the Saskatchewan D because the Saskatchewan D is pretty good.
Yeah.
And they besides Calgary, who they've struggled with a bit, they've done a pretty good job. So I think the Bombers are going to have a hard time on offense scoring points.
I think both teams will have a hard time scoring points. Or maybe I'm just hoping that. I think the Bombers will hopefully stubbornly commit to the run. Even though, yes, the Roughriders allow just over 76 yards, 76 yards per game. Oliveira putting up that 130 is encouraging. So hopefully that pushes Hogan to really commit to the run more, because they got to really control the tempo of the game. They got to win the time of possession. They got to slow this one down. The Bombers and the Riders are 1-2 when it comes to time of possession. So, man, I just really hope they commit to that run. And like we said, if Vanderpool comes back, maybe that gives them the flexibility to play more heavy set. Put in an extra lineman there to play tight end where they don't have to worry about their thinness or depth at O-line. So, yeah, I'm hoping they could go back to the run like you said. Because this will probably be Jason Hogan's toughest matchup so far against Corey Mace, who knows how to stop the Bombers. He knows how to rotate that D line in. So I think you really got to tire him out. And why not use hurry up offense? Don't let them substitute the D line. Keep it going. Keep the pressure going. I like to see more hurry up offense. Will they do it? I don't think so, but I'd like to see it.
Has Corey Mace actually beat the Bombers yet? Oh yeah, they did. They did last year once with Shea Patterson. That's right.
And he was the Arbuckle's defensive coordinator
when I meant
the Bombers year after year.
I meant with Saskatchewan. I forgot about that. They played 3 times last year.
Dang. Defensively, I think the Bombers will struggle mightily to cover this passing game. Trevor Harris is efficient, number 1 in the league. He has lots of targets. He knows how to spread the ball around. So I think he will be very efficient. They will give up the passing yards. Saskatchewan gets the most, I think, 30-plus yard plays in the league. So I think there'll be lots of yards to be had, but we'll see a lot of bend but don't break. Hopefully it'll be a lot of field goals. Who's kicking for Saskatchewan?
Isn't it Brent Lowther still?
I know, it is a thing. He had the child, right? Well, he did not have the child, but his wife has, so he's good to play.
Well, I haven't seen anything.
He's not been very good this year, though.
No.
They've been calling for him in Saskatchewan a little bit loudly.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't do what they did to Paul McCallum and throw manure all over the place.
Oh, Lord. And the Bombers, I think, have to send the blitz. Yes. As eerie as we are, it worked for Calgary when they sent 5, and then sometimes they showed 5, and they only sent 4. So I think if they establish that and get in Trevor Harris's head and let him hear the footsteps come in, I think that would be very beneficial.
Can they do it though? We talked about the Bomber blitz, and it seems like it's just a gong show half the time. You got multiple guys coming, but nobody gets through.
It's a rough go sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. Saskatchewan's got some good receivers. Calgary did get pressure and 4 sacks on Harris. So the Bombers are going to have to follow. I think they really need to look at what Calgary did here and see where they can expose this Saskatchewan O-line and this offense. Because if you give Trevor Harris time, he's going to kill you. There's no question. And then we've seen the Bombers when the opposing quarterback has had time, the DBs have struggled. So yeah, you got to get after Harris, and hopefully they can. I agree that they'll give up the yards for sure. The Bombers will give up yards in this game. Harris will probably hit 300 yards, but you got to limit the points, or especially the touchdowns. Let them settle for field goals, especially if it's Lawler kicking, because he's been struggling. So got to see the Bomber defense ball out in this one.
Yeah, Harris was really having some happy feet in the second half against Calgary there. Couldn't settle his feet. Couple interceptions. Bombers got to use that blueprint.
Well, he took some good hits too. So
yeah, from the middle and the ends.
Yeah.
Special teams, what do they got to do, or what do you think they'll do?
Looks like Mariel Alford is back. So that's going to be huge. Bombers did a good job on him last year, right? I believe he didn't, but he's very dangerous. So limit the guy, and like we just said, get Saskatchewan to settle for field goals. Lawler's going to hit somebody. Looks like he might miss some. So do that. And, I think Peyton Logan's going to have a good return game back there. Second game in there. Had some good returns against Montreal. I think he may break one.
Sheehan's got to have a big day, and he will have a big day. That directional punting has been pretty solid this year. pretty solid this year, and that's got to happen. And I think it will happen because with that loud crowd noise, a lot of times I talked about time of possession. That means it'll also be a battle of field position.
Yeah.
So and with Mary Alford back, they gotta limit those return yards. So keep him on the sideline. They will keep him on the sideline. Bomber fans, what are your thoughts on the Bomber Blueprint? What's going to happen? And don't forget, smash the subscribe button, please. Which QB is under more pressure to win this Labor Day, Harris or Collaros?
I got to go Trevor Harris, man. This is in Saskatchewan. They should win this game. They are the better team so far this season. And when I was looking back on it, I don't think Harris has beat the Bombers yet since he's been in Saskatchewan. And then now the Bombers have won 3 of the last 4 Labor Day Classics, right? So this is a huge game all around for Saskatchewan to win. You know, and we've seen the slide happen with Saskatchewan at this point for the last few seasons, where they go from 7-1, 6-2, and then fall apart. So I think the pressure is on Harris for this one.
I agree, and it is a big game scenario. And Trevor Harris hasn't led a team as a starter to the Grey Cup and won. He has rings from being a backup to Ricky Ray and Henry Burse. That was the one that was here, I think, in Winnipeg. But he's yet to deliver on it. So he has to prove himself on these big game. You know, he played Calgary, first place team, lost both of them.
Yeah.
Like you said, not much success against Winnipeg. So I think the pressure is on Trevor Harris.
For sure.
Which CFL coach is facing the most pressure this Labor Day weekend in the 3 matchups, which we'll talk about at the end there? 3. Ryan Dinwiddie, I think. They can't really afford to lose this game or many more. Like, I don't think he's in danger of being fired if they lose this game, but they are, 3-8? They're playing their rivals. If they have a dud of a game, he might lose some of those players, especially after he kind of called some of those players out. So, yeah, I think the pressure's on Ryan Dinwiddie.
Yeah, for sure. Like you say, he's not getting fired. I mean, the guy's won a couple great cups over the last few seasons, and still in the thick of things as well. And a big win last week for them as well, right? So, for me, I'm going back to Saskatchewan, and I feel like it's on Corey Mace because, yes, this is only his 2nd season, but he lost last year. He cannot lose 2 Labor Day Classics in a row to the Bombers, or the fans will riot no matter what your record is. And like we said, the slide has happened for Saskatchewan over the last couple of seasons, so it's going to get into their heads. It's going to get into the fans' heads that, hey, we're going down there again because we just lost to Calgary last week. Now we lost to the Bombers, the second, so I guess the 3rd best team in kind of the West Division right now. Yeah. So where does that leave Saskatchewan if they lose this game as well? So I think there's some pressure on him.
Don't want to lose 2 in a row.
No, and that's 4 out of 5. You know, which is unheard of, really. You know, we've watched the Bombers consistently lose that Labor Day Classic game, even when they've had good teams. So,
yeah, gotta stay away from the top of the Ray and Benny power rankings.
Yes, exactly. Should we put Saskatchewan there again?
We'll see. Thoughts on the Argos? That would be so mean. Thoughts on the Toronto Argos adding Shilo Sanders to their negotiation list? I think it'll be great for the team if Deion Sanders gets winds of it and maybe even uses his social media to tweet something, or even shows up at a game maybe. Imagine if he got just so thick and he's like, oh, I'm going to coach this team and let him play as much as he wants. Any which way. But I think it'd be a good thing promo-wise if Shilo does come and bury Sanders. Deion does some tweeting or whatever he does now. Instagrams.
Is he actually good? I mean, he didn't get drafted. He was undrafted by Tampa, right? I mean, he's probably good enough for the CFL kind of thing. But
no, something like American DBs are a lot. There's lots of them.
Yeah, I guess. But it's just funny because you had Todd Bowles, coach of Tampa Bay, saying that punch was inexcusable. So that's a pretty strong statement for me coming from a coach about a player like that. So, why not? Why not put him on the negotiation list? You never know. But at the same time, why do you really want a player like that on your team? And we've seen Toronto with some questionable guys before. So, but like you say, man, if it can bring some more press to the CFL or Toronto for right now, why not?
They need it. After Arbuckle and company put up 52 points. Are you considering keeping him as a starter?
Is Chad Kelly coming back soon? Like I tried to look stuff up and I don't see. I know he was on the 6 game, but I think after that 52, I think you have to. Arbuckle's the type of guy where he's going to give you that, and then the next week he's going to have possibly a dud, right?
Yeah.
Or he could be having a good game, and then all of a sudden he's going to throw a costly interception or make a mistake. So right now, yes, he's the best option Toronto has. Even if Chad Kelly comes back, there's going to be a lot of rust there. So yeah, I think you stick with Arbuckle.
Absolutely. We've seen this team rally around Arbuckle to win a championship.
That's true.
What is Chad Kelly doing right now? He's telling people that he could be a top 32 quarterback in the NFL. Are you kidding me, bro? Arbuckle just got them a ring. It's fine. I get it. It's a woeful BC defense, but I think you just maybe not say it out loud. Maybe behind closed doors, tell Arbuckle, hey, if you can keep this thing straight, you got it. Give him a little.
What is that? Sorry, what does this tell you about BC though? The fact that defense
they're horrible
gave up that much to Nick Arbuckle, like 443 yards to Nick Arbuckle.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing in BC right there? That's a huge. This is your opportunity to stay, in line with the Bombers, and even put that crossover. It more the battle for the crossover, make it a bigger gap between you and for Bombers BC versus Toronto Ottawa kind of thing. And they just went out and laid an egg on that defense. And Mike Benevides is like, I don't know what's going on there.
All year they've been garbage on defense.
They have, but this was
year.
This was something against a Toronto offense that hasn't
without a running game, really.
Yeah.
If Toronto finds a running game, Arbuckle would probably be better.
Well, that's the thing. Like even in this game, what's his name? Spencer Brown, 85 yards rushing, for Toronto. So
Luke Wilson's now defending TSN CFL coverage and kind of the Toronto market and maybe MLSE's efforts. Has TSN done all they can? I don't know. Is Toronto a football market? It's hard to say. Like, let's start with TSN. Have they done all they can? I don't think so. I don't think this being on the morning loop of SportsCenter really helps grow the CFL. Unless you're doing CFL specific programming, especially like a CFL 30-minute no highlights. Like listen to the in-depth, get to know some players, put some faces on the game so people actually get to know and put it on CTV so more people across the nation see it. Morning loop highlights. Are non-CFL fans really flocking to see TSN highlights of CFL? I don't think that helps grows the game. I think that helps satisfy current CFL fans, and I barely do that. Like, I'll go to YouTube and watch them when I have on my own clock. So, no, I don't think TSN is doing enough.
I have to give TSN credit. I mean, they helped the CFL years ago by starting, giving the CFL money kind of as a TV deal and keeping the kind of the CFL afloat.
Yes.
But over time, it's kind of gotten a bit stale. Like there's nothing changed. Yes, you got the panel, you got knowledgeable guys and hosts on the panel, right? And now they've traveled a little bit, the panel, to some games. But for me, that's really the only difference. Now you've added some sideline. I mean, they had Sarah Oleski before, but you've added Luke Wilson as a sideline guy, right? But they need to do more. And I do agree that maybe it's not enough to just have it on loop on SportsCenter. Have a half an hour show, throughout the week. Recap the week before, the week ahead, and then you also, like you say, feature some players. So yes, they've done a job, but they got to get better at that job. Yeah. Luke, it's funny because he'll criticize the CFL and all that stuff, but man, I know TSN's your employer and all that, but you should have been able to criticize kind of what they're doing as well, and that they're sticking to the status quo and not trying to help the CFL a bit more, right?
Yeah. So the CFL has to have a more active role in this.
Yes,
This is crazy. My goodness, the largest market, and they still can't find a niche.
Well, I think the CFL as a whole, because even if you the CFL's Twitter account during games, will tweet something out and it barely gets any engagement at
Yeah.
all. So the CFL has some work to do there as well, but they almost got to work together with TSN and figure something out because this is your TV provider. There's gonna be no Sportsnet coming in. Sportsnet is not going to do this, and Luke can go. Well, these games are all in primetime slots of TSN. Well, TSN doesn't really have anything else to show, right? They don't have hockey. They've lost NHL. So CFL right now is almost your main programming for Canadian audiences.
Make it
So
work.
you need to make that better. You need to work at it a little bit. But I guess there's no competition, so you keep things status quo.
Is Toronto football market?
I think their football market, I think they would support the NFL more than the CFL, but if the team was good. Otherwise, it'd be like the Jays. When the Jays are good, hey, let's go fill that stadium. When the Jays are bad, let's sit back and watch. I think they just don't like CFL is too minor league for them.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they struggle to fill that place up.
Yeah, I do think obviously Toronto is a Leafs hockey city, and it's a Raptors city. I think that's ingrained in it now. Basketball culture is a big thing in Toronto, where it's even beyond now the Raptors, but the Raptors feel that so much now because there's so much in the community. Which, you know what? There's some idiot on Twitter. I'm not even going to use their handle or name, but they had this logic where they're like, well, the problem with CFL attendance is they are flooding so many immigrants into this country that there are people
Oh
who
my God.
don't even appreciate football anymore. I'm like, man, are you kidding me? Like, I look at my own dad, and like, he was an immigrant who didn't grow up watching American football, but it was a place where you can go where there are a lot of other people of color, where they can see people of color on the field being celebrated and cheered and elevated rather than face racism on a daily basis at work or in the street. Like, use your brain, man. Like, that's why the Raptors are successful. They focused on immigrants, new Canadians, and women. And look at their
Yeah.
fan base now. Like, and
Yeah.
have the Argos done that? Yes, they do. Like Carabana, they'll have Afro Caribbean night, and they do that at a certain level. But Toronto's big. You got to go home hard or go home. So whatever.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about this, but that comment really pissed me off. And there's a lot of ignorance out there. Just saying.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Big time.
That's crazy. Don't blame it on immigrants. But Toronto's an entertainment city. Like, it's hard. Like, you go to theaters there, they're packed. And they have
Yeah.
concerts there all the time. Like, and you have like Taylor Swift there for 2-3 nights. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot obviously to do in Toronto compared to what there is to do in Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
You got so many more options, and of course things cost more as well.
Yes.
Whereas the CFL, doesn't. It's very reasonable price, but people have to decide where they're going to spend their money, right? Obviously today in this day and age with the economy and everything, it's tough. But like you say, last game they had a good crowd, and I don't know if they gave tickets away, but I think they need to start doing that right now for at least a couple years or a year or two, whatever it takes to give away these tickets, get people into the stands, and have them leave. And I know that was a great game because there's lots of scoring.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a good game to get people to start coming back and go, oh, that was fun. And now you get them to buy a $20 ticket next time, right?
Yeah.
And build from there. But give the tickets away. And like you say, to new people to Canada, whatever it takes, get them to come check out a new game that they may have never seen before.
Yeah.
So,
and it was CNE night too. So you had that, like, in this old stadium here, remember there used to be the Red River X?
Yeah.
So they had all the fairgrounds and everything, and people got to go to the game as well. So they were connected, but you can't do that every week.
No.
But they got to take advantage of opportunities like that.
Yeah, and hopefully you have those people now who will go, oh, that was great. Let's go to another game, right?
Yeah.
So just got to keep doing stuff like that.
9-team league. I know we don't like talking about schedule makers because we give them so much airtime because we think they're horrible at their jobs. Why are there only 3 games on Labor Day weekend? And how do you fix that?
This is like the premier weekend of the CFL season, right? You got obviously 3 very good rivalries going on that have been going on for a long time. and it works for those three teams. I don't know. Logically, I would think Montreal, Ottawa, right?
Yes.
That should be the rivalry. But then if you get that 10th team, like unless it's Victoria, it's probably coming from the east of the country, right?
Yes.
So now is BC going to be a rivalry with that team?
Why not?
It
Coast to
could.
coast. Coast to coast.
It could. But to me, like like if you can somehow though snag a team in Quebec, right? I mean, obviously Montreal, Quebec would be the rivalry you kind of want. But at this point now, say you built up Montreal, Ottawa, how do you switch it to that other rivalry? Try to build that up. But I think to me, you got to go BC, Ottawa, and try to build a rivalry there somehow, and then see what that 10th team would be. I mean, someone's got to have some idea where this 10th team is possibly coming from at this point, or if it's ever
Yeah.
coming, right? To
Well,
build this thing. But yeah, there should be 4 games this weekend.
I'm not even entertaining the thought of a 10th team. That talk is off the table a long time ago.
It's
You
got to
have
come.
9 teams. Ottawa, Montreal every Labor Day, BC, and one of those 2 teams the following week. Yes, it won't be a rematch like everyone else, but it's a 9-team league.
So is there no rematch? I didn't even check. There probably isn't, I guess, with Toronto and Hamilton next week.
Why not?
I'm wondering. Now that we're talking about this, I didn't end up looking, but I want to see if there is.
There has to be.
Didn't they scrap it a couple years ago?
Like all those 3 teams, two of those 3 teams have to play, so all the return matches to stay the same. I'm just saying, rotate those 3 teams that are playing on Labor Day. Have BC play, take Labor Day off. Montreal, Ottawa, always. That's the Rideau, Battle of the Rideau. They're right there. They both speak French. They're right beside each other. And then BC jumps into one of those teams the following year. That's your easy fix. I don't understand why they can't get that going. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, next week it's Hamilton, Montreal. So
That's
BC,
nonsense.
BC, Ottawa. So there is no rematch for Toronto, Hamilton.
That's nonsense. How can they not figure this out?
It's the CFL, man. They haven't been able to figure out the schedule properly at all for
Just
years.
let Chat GPT do it already. Just let Chat GPT, we'll put the parameters in. Labor Day this, rematch this. Make sure people don't play 3 times in a row. Don't blow all their matchups in the first third of the season. That's your parameters. CFL Power 4. 4-1. Who do you got at 4?
You know what? Winnipeg's made my list. Couple wins in a row here, kind of getting a little bit better. So I'll put them at number 4.
I got Winnipeg at 4. I think they will build momentum this week. I got them winning this week. Who do you got at 3? Oh, for sure. Who do you got at 3?
Wow. I'm still putting Hamilton still at number 3. They didn't play last week, right? So no movement from them.
Yeah, Hamilton, hard to argue. They're there. Didn't look too good in their last game, but Hamilton. Saskatchewan, sorry. Yes, Saskatchewan I have at number 2, so I won't crown them like I did last week.
I got. Well, speaking of Hamilton, that was 2 losses in a row. Now I look back at it to BC and Saskatchewan, right? So
6 and 4.
So we'll see what they do against Toronto this week. I got Saskatchewan as well, number 2. Obviously, a battle last week with the 2 powerhouses of the CFL, and Saskatchewan lost out
to the only team they've lost to.
Yeah.
What
5-0 this team against Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. Crazy.
Have they lost to anyone in the West?
Who?
Calgary. Have they only lost to Ottawa?
Ottawa. No, there's one more.
Winnipeg.
No.
Sorry.
Hamilton?
Must be. They did not lose to BC, did they?
Hey?
They did not lose to BC, did they?
No, what was so PJ Walker.
That's Ottawa. PJ Walker and Rain Game was Ottawa.
Yeah, Ottawa, Rain Game. And there's one other one, right?
CFL Nation. Put the answer and then
Montreal they lost to.
There you go.
The one where Davis Alexander ended up getting no, that's the one where Vernon Adams ended up getting hurt after.
Oh, yeah. See, they're screwed if he gets hurt. And he does get hurt.
I'm assuming we got Calgary at 1, right?
Oh, for sure. I'm sorry, Calgary. I might be at Labor Day. If I have time, I'll go to their game there.
What do you think Edmonton's chances are against Calgary? Obviously, Edmonton's on a roll, but they've beaten teams that are at the bottom of the standings. Now, this is a tough test for them. What do you think?
I think their chances are good. I think Edmonton, looking right now, the way they're playing football, they don't give a look. Like, I think they're playing that kind of dangerous football where they're not, obviously they haven't fully come together as a team under Fajardo. He still needs some time with Flip, then the playbook will grow. But I think they're just kind of playing reckless football where they don't give a damn anymore.
Yeah, they almost got nothing to lose, really, right? Because
Yeah.
we're all burying them when they only had one win,
Game by
and
game.
saying they were done.
It's like how when Montreal started slow, also a team led by Cody Fajardo, and they made their run. So be quiet, be careful.
There'll still be a big 2 weeks coming up for them if they can pull one of these out. I mean, if they can pull this one out, that'd be huge, But if they can get one of the two, that's still pretty big for them, and that's going to make the West crazy down the stretch because you're going to have 5 teams that are possibly in contention here.
It already is crazy, and for sure vying for another spot on the other side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Crazy CFL. Benny, you have anything to say to our friends?
You know what? Just thanks a lot for listening. Have a good week. Don't forget to subscribe and follow, and go Bombers go.
Safe travels to all our friends going to Regina. Be safe. Have fun. Have a good time. Cheer loud. Bring those cowbells. Bombers are going to come home with a dub.
It's quite the prediction.
I'm going like 18-17.
Wow. Okay. So defense is stepping up that crazy, eh?
Yeah. Last time I predicted a low score, it was like 40 to whatever. That was when the Bombers scored like 2 touchdowns off the return. Vavel that game. Any which way.
Hopefully they do that again.
In the words of Ed Whalen, in the meantime, in between time, that's it. Another edition of Ray and Benny Talk Sports. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.